I walked through the musty attic, my footsteps echoing in the dim light. Dust danced in the air as I rummaged through old boxes, searching for something valuable to sell at the upcoming estate auction. My great-aunt had passed away recently, leaving behind a sprawling, centuries-old mansion filled with generations of forgotten relics. I had never been particularly close to her, but the promise of hidden treasures had drawn me to this dusty, eerie place. As I reached the far corner of the attic, my fingers brushed against a weathered, leather-bound diary. I picked it up and blew off the layer of dust, revealing the faded gold lettering on the cover. The Future Chronicles. The name intrigued me. I had always been fascinated by tales of the supernatural, and this diary seemed like something straight out of a ghost story. Curiosity got the best of me, and I opened the diary to the first page. Inside, I found neat, delicate handwriting that seemed impossibly old. The entries were filled with predictions, dates, and descriptions of events that had occurred in the past, all of which were eerily accurate. My heart raced as I realized the implications. This diary seemed to tell the future. I skimmed through the pages, my skepticism slowly giving way to a growing sense of unease. The diary had predicted world events, natural disasters, and even the deaths of famous individuals, all with chilling precision. There were also personal entries, including the details of my great-aunt's death, which had occurred exactly as described. Overwhelmed by the eerie revelations, I decided to test the diary. I wrote a simple question in it, asking about something that had been bothering me lately. Will I find true love? I closed the diary and put it aside, not really expecting anything to happen. The following morning, as I sat down for breakfast, my phone pinged with a notification. It was an invitation to a speed dating event. I had never considered speed dating, but the timing was uncanny. Could it be a coincidence? I decided to attend, and to my surprise, I met someone there, a charming, intelligent woman named Emily. We hit it off right away and decided to see each other again. The diary's prediction had come true, leaving me both amazed and disturbed. I couldn't help but wonder what else it might foretell. As the weeks passed, I continued to experiment with the diary, asking questions about my future, and each time, the events it described came to pass. It was as if the diary had an uncanny ability to shape my destiny, leading me down a predetermined path. One evening, as I sat alone in my great-aunt's dimly lit study, I found myself growing obsessed with the diary. The power it held over my life both fascinated and terrified me. I decided to test its limits by asking a more daring question: what happens to me next? I opened the diary, and the words began to form on the page, handwritten in that ancient script. The message was cryptic: beware the shadows that lurk in your dreams, for they seek to escape into your reality. I shivered at the ominous warning. What could it mean? That night, I had a restless sleep plagued by nightmares. I dreamed of shadowy figures, malevolent and haunting, trying to break free from the confines of the dream world. When I awoke, I felt a lingering sense of dread. I couldn't shake the feeling that something had crossed over from my dream into the waking world. I went back to the diary, writing down my concerns. The diary responded with another message: the line between dreams and reality grows thin, and the shadows are closer than you think. The days that followed were filled with eerie occurrences. Strange shadows danced at the edges of my vision, and I heard whispering voices in the dead of night. I was no longer sure if these experiences were figments of my imagination or if the diary was somehow responsible. Desperate for answers, I returned to the diary, but this time, I asked the most crucial question of all: how do I stop this? The diary replied, you must return what was taken. I puzzled over the message, unsure of what it meant. As I delved deeper into the diary's pages, I discovered a disturbing entry. It described how the diary had been created by a group of individuals who had harnessed dark powers to glimpse into the future. In doing so, they had inadvertently allowed malevolent forces to seep into the world. The diary held the key to sealing the rift between the dream world and reality. I had to find the original creators of the diary and return it to them. The only problem was that their names and whereabouts were shrouded in mystery. Determined to set things right, I embarked on a quest to uncover the diary's origins. It led me to a decrepit, long-abandoned mansion deep in the woods. Inside, I found a hidden chamber filled with arcane symbols and relics of a bygone era. As I delved deeper, I uncovered a secret chamber that contained an ancient book, written in the same handwriting as the diary. The book revealed the names of the original creators and a ritual that could seal the rift. The task was daunting, but I had no choice. I began the ritual, not knowing what would happen next. As I chanted the incantations, the room filled with an otherworldly energy, and a chilling wind howled through the mansion. Shadows materialized, swirling around me, and I felt an overwhelming malevolence. I continued the ritual, my voice quivering, until a blinding light erupted, banishing the shadows and restoring order. Exhausted and shaken, I realized I had succeeded in closing the rift between dreams and reality. The diary lay on the floor, its pages now blank. The dark powers that had once controlled it were vanquished. With a deep sense of relief, I left the abandoned mansion and returned to my Greytant's home. The diary had given me a glimpse into a world of both wonder and terror, but I had paid the price to set things right. It had been a journey into the unknown, one that would forever haunt my memories, and a reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed. Part 2. With the rift closed, I returned to my normal life, determined to put the Eerie diary behind me. Emily and I grew closer, and our love deepened with each passing day. We never spoke of the diary or the shadows that had once haunted my dreams. It was as if that chapter of our lives had been closed, sealed away in the past. But the diary's influence would not fade so easily. One evening, while going through my Greytant's belongings, I found an old photograph of her with a group of people, including a man who looked eerily similar to me. I turned the photograph over, and on the back was a name, Henry Whitlock, 1867. I couldn't shake the feeling that this was the key to unraveling the mystery of the diary. I began researching the name and discovered that Henry Whitlock had been one of the original creators of the diary. He had disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and his fate had remained a puzzle for generations. Determined to uncover the truth, I delved into the past. The more I learned about Henry Whitlock and his involvement with the diary, the more I realized that the diary had never truly been sealed. It had merely been dormant, waiting for someone with a connection to its creators to awaken its power once more. I shared my findings with Emily, and we decided to visit the Whitlock estate, which had been abandoned for decades. The dilapidated mansion stood as a silent testament to the enigma surrounding Henry Whitlock. As we explored the decaying rooms, we stumbled upon a hidden chamber much like the one I had encountered before. It was filled with tomes of forbidden knowledge and arcane artifacts. In the heart of the chamber, we found an old journal belonging to Henry Whitlock. The journal revealed that Henry had been consumed by guilt over the diary's creation and the havoc it had unleashed. He had devised a plan to end its malevolent influence once and for all, but he had never lived to see it through. With the journal in hand, we uncovered the details of Henry's unfinished ritual, one that would finally sever the connection between the diary and the world of shadows. It was a perilous task, but we knew it was our only hope. As we followed the instructions, the room filled with an eerie energy, and shadows once again began to coalesce around us. The malevolent forces that had lain dormant for generations sought to prevent us from completing the ritual. With each incantation, the shadows grew more aggressive, twisting and contorting, attempting to reach us. But Emily and I were determined. We recited the final words of the incantation in unison, and a blinding light erupted from the center of the room, pushing back the encroaching darkness. The diary, now resting on a stone pedestal, erupted in flames, disintegrating before our eyes. As the flames subsided, the shadows retreated, vanquished once and for all. The diary was gone, and the rift between dreams and reality was finally sealed. We left the Whitlock estate with a profound sense of relief, knowing that we had put an end to the diary's curse and the malevolent forces it had unleashed. The secrets of the past were no longer bound to haunt the present. In the aftermath, Emily and I felt closer than ever, having faced the darkness together and emerged victorious. We had proven that the power of love and determination could conquer even the most malevolent of forces. The Eerie diary was now nothing but a distant memory, a ghostly relic of a bygone era, and we were determined to move forward, leaving the shadows of the past behind us.